right, today we are talking about journals, science journals. All right, so this is your science journal, something close to it. This is the most important thing you're going to have this year in science class. It is your textbook. It is all your notes. It's what you'll study from. It's where our experiments will go. It's where your drawings and sketches will go. It's where all your ideas will go, all into the science journal. So it is really important that you take it with you home. Those of you on site coming to school, leave it in your backpack, and you'll need it every day. Take it out of your backpack when you get in class. We'll be ready to go every single day. And virtual kids, I'd like you to have this next to you when you're watching your videos as well and ready to go. So super important. We'll be using most of the book all the way through. We'll be taping or gluing most likely pages in here. Virtual kids, if you have a way to print, you can just print them off. They'll be on Google Classroom. If you're not, you'll need to just go ahead and just know where to find those on your Chromebook. We're still going to label on each page, even if they don't put anything on here, like you virtual kids, what it is and where you can find it. But like what number, what Google Classroom post to be, and you'll find out more about that, later. So how do we set this up? All right, so that's what we'll talk about next. All right, now that you have the nuts and bolts of the journal, what do we need to do to set this thing up? So you already have your name across the top of it. If you're a virtual student, you get to write that name in yourself. Those of you that are coming on site are going to have one with your name already printed on them as well. This is the most important thing we're going to have. And so because of that, we need to keep it somewhat organized. So what I want you to do is you're going to open up your journal. Right, and you are going to start numbering the pages. The very first page, right here, right, is page number 1. So I've labeled it up in the top right-hand corner. We are going to be pasting in a page here for you to document some of your results of some of your learning this year. So you can put your name in here, but this is going to be covered up. So I turn the page, and you can see I have page number 2. And then page number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think you by this point have probably figured out how our Arabic numbering system has worked. So I will not go through each one. But you can go ahead and just start labeling these and really all the way to the end. And so if you want to do this, day by day, I wouldn't suggest going ahead and doing 200 straight. Your hand's going to cramp. And then you're going to want to think bad things about Mr. Cook. So just do, maybe do 15, 20 per day, and then in a week you'll have this basically set. And the reason this is important is that I'm going to ask you to put something on page 6 or 7 or 8, and I expect it to be there. So that just helps us stay all organized, right? As well. In fact, your assignment on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, is going to be right here on this first page. So virtual students, what you're going to do is you're going to write your stuff in here, and then you're going to take a picture of it and post it to Google Classroom, and we'll show you how to do that a little bit. And on-site students, a lot of you are still going to be taking pictures and posting to Google Classroom as well. Now, so here is your journal. You'll see you've got your name tag at the top. Your virtual folk, you're going to be writing your own name in there. Those of you here, you should have a sticker on yours. So there'll be all difference there. This is our journal. It says composition notebook. So one thing I want to stress, please don't mess with this piece of tape that goes across the back. It's for the binding. It keeps it on. It holds it strong. It keeps it from falling apart. How compositions are made is that they have this string woven in between the papers. So these are not normal notebooks. You can't just rip pages out. Since it's connected to another page, or that page will fall out, and it also can damage the string that's holding everything together as well. All right. So how a journal works is that the first page you see is page 1. So go ahead and write page 1 right there, and then you'll turn the page. The next page over is going to be 2. Right, and then 3, right? And notice I put a little square there if you want to put a circle or a dot. Just make sure it's easy to see by anyone, including myself. And then you continue labeling this to the end of the journal. Even pages on the left, odd pages on the right. Right, it's really important that you put things exactly where they're supposed to go. It helps us keep everything organized. It makes it easier for you to use. It's easier for me to grade as well. Though sometimes, including Wednesday, what you're going to do is you're going to do something on here, and then you'll take a picture of it and post it to Google Classroom, and I will explain how to do that in a different video. I would not suggest sitting down and just plow through to 200. I would suggest, every day if you just did about 15, 20 numbers, it wouldn't take long for you to get you through here. Like I said before, this is the most important piece, all right, of we have. It's everything you'll need to know. Now, one thing I also want to mention were these little tabs you can see that I've placed on here as well. And that just is quick, easy to let you know how this journal is organized. So the first 21 pages are going to be what's called resource pages. This is stuff you're going to use throughout the whole year. So we'll put metric conversions, we'll put some vocab we'll need the whole year, we'll put microscope parts in here. We'll put things about how to take notes, and we'll put things in here about things that we'll need to know, mean, median, mode, range, what a model is, and so on. And then each unit will have its own label as well. And so everything you need to know about the EDP, which is engineering design process, or heat, cells, genetics, weather, water cycle, human impact, those are all the things we're going to cover this year. So how do we make these little tabs? Well, first off, what you need to do is have this a little piece of paper. So I've got these little post-it notes here. These work okay. But you basically want to get a small piece of paper. I'm going to fold this over a couple times. So a piece of paper is folded over a few times, like so. Will just be thicker and not easy to rip. And then we just write what your topic is here. So I'm going to write EDP. That's the engineering design process. And that's our first unit that we'll get into starting next week. All right, so to put this in, first off we need to realize is where is this going to go? So my resources, like I said, are going to be the first 21 pages. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I don't have my page numbers in this one done, I'm just going to go ahead till page 21. And between 21 and 22 is where I'm going to put our next unit. I will mention this, we will skip pages from time to time. Just because the reason we skip some pages sometimes is some of you may write bigger or smaller than each other, so we'll always want to use the same amount of pages. So we might take 4 pages to do something that you might end up doing 3, and that's just fine. All right, so how we do this is I'm going to go to places on word B21 here, and I'm probably going to. All right, so once I've realized I need to put it on this page, I have my little tab paper already made. I'm going to take a piece of tape about 5 or 6 inches long, like so, and I'm going to take the end of my EDP and put it smack about right in the middle, just about right. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't. Oops, this tape might be a little long. I don't want these two ends stick. They're going to stick, and then you're going to have to start over. So what I do is I just take my tape. Now think about where's my other tab. I don't want my tab on top of each other. I want to place it right next to it. So I'm going to move it down to this like second and third line too. All right. So I'm going to go a couple lines down. I'm going to put my piece of tape down, and then I'm going to push down, and then I'm just going to take another piece of tape and kind of roll it over. Trying to get my tape to touch each other so it doesn't stick other stuff. Alright, and then I have 2 tabs. See, this first tab I made is kind of long. I might redo that one so it's a little bit short. So now if I need to get to EDP or whatever unit, instead of trying to find the spot, I can just grab my tab and then voila, I am ready to go. This is our introduction to your science journal and the page numbers and the tabs. Remember, we do need you to number those um, as soon as possible, but you can do that 15, 20 pages at a time. So remember, it's the most important piece you need every day in the class.